Hey, what's up, my world of YouTube? This is Chris, aka Barnon11970. Thanks for taking the time to check out my video. All right, guys, it seems apparently I was right and wrong both at the same time, which for me is actually kind of confusing the situation that happened as far as the gold and silver and Janet Yellen. Well, the one thing I was right about is I really didn't think that Janet Yellen was going to do the right thing, and she basically talked about continuing on the path that they're doing and maybe even tapering again. The one thing I am a little surprised at is the fact that gold and silver started rising. To me, I was not expecting that. But to me, what that does suggest is that people really aren't buying this false recovery that they're trying to push. So to me, that's a good sign in the long run. One thing I have noticed is gold is basically all morning has been staying under 1300. So it seems the 1300 is a resistance point. So I'm still waiting to make a purchase. I'm waiting for this dip to be coming. It may never come. I mean, this is sometimes the chances you have to take. I've been stacking since 2006, so this is not a priority for me anyway. This is just adding on to what I already have. But I will have to see later on what's going to be happening. The fact that it's not getting past 1300 for me could potentially mean that that is a resistance point, which means you might see a pullback. And remember, Janet Yellen is also going to be talking to the Senate on Thursday. So obviously, if she's already said what she said today, she's not going to all of a sudden do an about face a couple of days later. At least you wouldn't think so. So she's going to be telling them basically the same thing. It might get a little bit more coverage, and we might see that pullback. This is the bad part when it comes to a manipulated market because they do manipulate the prices up and down. So it's getting a little bit more and more challenging to be able to figure out what kind of moves are happening because just everything is just getting to that point where I don't know. I just really think there's going to be some interesting times ahead in the next couple of months to the next year. A lot of people that are experts in economics and talking about gold and silver and um, lots of interviews I've watched have all said 2014 could be an interesting year for metals. I did predict when I made my predictions for this year that gold and silver will be rising. I just didn't think it would be this early, but again, not major moves at this point. You're seeing gold up around roughly a little bit under $18, roughly hovering around 12.91. It's been staying around that area all day. Silver is up about 17 cents at 2025. So that looks like if any two are going to go down more significantly, I would say gold because it's again hitting that resistance point of 1300. But silver in the past couple of days has been able to stay above 20. So we'll see where it goes. Just remember, guys, you ultimately make the decisions on what you need to do. With what's going on in the government, with what's going on with the quantitative easing, the illusion of a recovery, I find that hard to believe with so many people on welfare and on food stamps. Um, it's hard to really predict nowadays what's going on. So basically, I'm going to give my opinion to those who want to listen to it. It's at this point, I don't know. I can honestly admit that it's not getting easy to figure it out because when Janet Yellen basically says that not only are they not going to stop it, but they might taper even further, and the gold actually went up, including the market, well, you pretty much know that there's going to be some interesting times ahead. And plus the fact, considering the quantitative easing is going towards the market, they're still pumping it in. So, if you're taking 10, 20% of the heroin away from a heroin addict, they still have heroin. So, remains to be seen. So, unfortunately, there wasn't the dip that I was thinking there would be, but, one thing I've learned over time is to be patient. Don't base things on emotions. That's how they get you. Because if we see a couple of days of rising, you're going to get some people that'll panic and say, oh, I better buy now. And if there is that crash, you're going to kick yourself. So I'm not saying that I can guarantee it. I never have. I'm just giving my opinions. But I'm going to still sit on the sidelines and wait for a reasonable dip before I make my purchase. Because if you're buying on the way up, that goes against the whole thing of buy low, sell high. But again, You do ultimately what you feel is important for you. Just listen to other people and get information and then make your own decisions. So, with that being said, I'm going to get ready to go do my sun gazing. Don't forget about the podcast later on tonight. It's going to start approximately at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we'd love to see you there. So, thanks for watching. Enjoy your day. Peace.